Okay, so I'm here in downtown Reno at the Believe sign this evening, where a makeshift ad hoc memorial is going on this evening. I'm kind of following reports I heard that this is going on, and here we are. So I guess I just missed a contingent of bikes that was right over in that corner over there that just kind of wheeled off and took off in that general direction. But for all intentions and all reports, it appears it's another night here in downtown. Just in reference to the moment here, this is, I guess, today in Kentucky there was the Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced the findings of a grand jury investigation in regards to the shooting death of Breonna Taylor, and I guess only one officer is charged, but the charges were found in regards to nearly endangering other people on 3 counts. And this just kind of resulted in a bit of backlash throughout the country, and here we are. So I just finished an interview with a couple of young women over there in the corner, and I just got here about 30 minutes ago. There's been quite a few people here for a while now. And I'm going to kind of just start our conversations tonight here with just kind of going up to people and asking their thoughts. So, hey guys, can I ask you all a question real quick?
Sure, go for it.
Hi, my name's Don. I'm a political writer here in town, and I'm live streaming, so you know. So just to let you know. So you're live on the interwebs, as they would say. So I want to ask you a question, guys. What brings you here tonight?
The injustice of Breonna Taylor, because no one got any justice for her, so that's why we're here.
And just to familiarize my audience at home, when you talk about injustice, what is that?
Breonna Taylor was murdered in her sleep. People have been protesting around the country for months now because of the cops that are still walking free, that are being charged for her murder, an innocent black woman. Today there was, I don't know what to call it, hearings, but the officers were not charged. There was one officer that was charged, and he was basically charged for, in layman's terms, property damage. And it's just enraging to see that our system can get away with murdering innocent people asleep at night. And I think we're all here because we just needed to collectively find a space where we could grieve and mourn and somehow express the rage that it feels to be a person of color.
What were you expecting? I guess I want to ask this because I think that's probably the best way to phrase this and set this up in a way. In regards to today's findings, what were you expecting the Attorney General Cameron to find in the grand jury indictment or investigation?
Like some kind of accountability of all that happened, because there's so many missing pieces that just doesn't make sense in the actual justice system, justice world. Like, how can people get away with all of this when it's clear?
But I think that in reality, we all kind of knew that justice wouldn't be served. So it's not that we're necessarily surprised. It's just still extremely disappointing and enraging to know that these kind of things can happen over and over again with zero accountability.
No accountability for that police force or anything like that. There was no proper filing paperwork or anything like that. So why can't they hold that office accountable, those sergeants accountable for the policemen that messed up filing all that paperwork and everything like that?
So on the expectational level, we have the indictments, we've got the 3 charges, we've got the officers level charged, and the officers have been fired, and we've got the civil lawsuit settlement with the changes. The natural question for some is that enough?
No, because the family's never going to get their daughter back. Their family member, their girlfriend, the person they love, their friend. It's not enough that an innocent person was killed in her own bed, she's asleep.
So, as it stands now, really, unless a federal investigation gets opened up, that's kind of where this stays, as they would say. What should be done? I mean, if you had the ability to change this moment, or what would you want done?
If we had the ability to change, I think we would uphold a system that allows this kind of thing to happen in the first place.
And when you mean change, I mean, what does that look like? I mean, and I say that not to be antagonistic, but I'm asking because legitimately there are folks at home or people out there watching this who may not understand what's the problem, or may not understand I don't get it. Why are these people out here? Like they got charged, so what? The investigation got done, so what? Et cetera, et cetera.
We live in a country that was built off of a lot of racism, and we're upholding these systems that are incredibly racist to their core. And so change would be to recreate these systems from scratch, to not let this be a thing, because the systems aren't broken, they're doing exactly what they were intended to do. This is what they were built for. And the more conscious we become, the more technology we have. It's not that any of these incidents are brand new, it's that they're being published, extremely publicly now. And it's like, how can we still, after centuries, be watching these injustices happen and sit by and let it happen? So the change that needs to come is that we need to start over, and we need to acknowledge our racist past, and we need to, it's not that we need to shame each other and punish each other, it's that we need to educate each other and understand that it still trickles down to what is happening every single day here in this country.
Man, you're giving me a lot of segues and things, because I kind of feel like you're kind of setting up our conversations on some relevant parts of this equation, but I have to remind myself we got to stay on topic. So, but I'm going to kind of indulge myself a little bit, though. Nevertheless, you brought up the topic of looking at past and issues of history and whatnot. And as a recent, the administration is, in a recent policy announcement, is directing federal agencies, and now anybody that's business with the federal government is absolved of basically dealing with having to do sensitivity trading, or at least race and others. I'm not sure how to describe this appropriately without butchering it or making it mischaracterized. But those training guidelines have been waived, and the president's speech in regards to that referenced this line of thinking, or this kind of they would say race critical theory thinking, as somewhat anti-American. Your thoughts?
I mean, he's not wrong when we're a country that is literally established on the genocide of indigenous people. We are built off of racist systems. To him, teaching the truth and teaching how that is still relevant today kind of, in a way, is un-American, because America is built off of the backs of slavery and indigenous people. So, to share the truth sheds a light, an ugly light on America that a lot of people don't want to face, but it's the truth. And so, not that I agree with anything this administration does, but when it comes to semantics, you can agree that he's not wrong in that sense, because America is racist and we're built off of it. I'm American, will acknowledge our history. I'm also Mexican, so I know what it feels like to be a person of color in this country. We have to acknowledge our history. We have to acknowledge the hurt that has been done so that we can move forward. Otherwise, we're just patching it and putting band-aids on it and not really fixing anything. We're just putting flowers on top of it to try to make it look pretty.
Yeah. Wow, I have to say thank you for giving me a chance to do a bit of a deep dive, and I've been willing to talk to you about this, and on such a very difficult and very personal topic on such a very difficult day, and I appreciate you guys willing to do this on camera, by the way. So, well,
being here.
you're welcome. Your names again?
Beatrice.
Beatrice?
Kendra.
Kendra. Guys, thank you very much, guys.
Have a good night.
You too, guys. Take care. And I'm going to try to grab Holly. Hey, Holly! Sorry. Yes, I think I'm going to miss her. So I think... No, what the heck? I'll ask. I'll be right back, guys. I'm not leaving. Hey, Holly! Sorry, are you taking off? Are you heading off? Okay. I guess I'm live. Can I ask you a question on the record, or? Okay. Sounds fair. All right. You're welcome. Have a good night. Be safe. Oh, I was out. Be safe.
Where's Daniel?
All right. I guess I missed Holly there for a sec, so she's on it. She's got to head back. I'm gonna go ahead, and since we're here, let's see here. Let's go ahead and ask a couple folks from Carson City here. Huh? Hey guys, can I bother you guys for a sec on camera?
Hey, Don.
Hey, so you're live, just to let you know.
Yes.
So, I figured I'd bother some folks in Carson City since I know you just got off of work and drove here, so I'm going to make this come out worthwhile. And I know you just drove from North Reno, so this works out. So, I want to ask what brings you here tonight?
Obviously, we're here for Breonna Taylor and hoping for justice in the wake of this total injustice. Basically, is what we're here trying to raise her name and bring her up. Basically, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, because of the news today with what happened, where, obviously there was not justice served on her behalf. And so, what better time to come down here and show our support?
So, question, I know you guys have come from, I guess that's kind of why it's important to ask you guys, because you came from a long distance away. What does this mean in your neck of the woods? Like, how do you take this home to your communities, and how do you address something like this? Or how relevant does this become to your neck of the woods?
That's hard. Coming from Carson, especially, I mean, this is important everywhere, regardless. I mean, whether or not you have, a large movement, whether or not you have a large minority population of Carson does not. However, it is still greatly important. I know that us down in Carson, we plan on recognizing and trying to honor her on Saturday at our event on Saturday. So that's something that we are going to be doing going forward. But I personally think not just anywhere in particular. I just think it's important regardless where you're at.
Yeah, I'd say I don't have a feel for how it is in northern Reno, because a lot of times I am driving over an hour down to Carson for their protest, because we just don't do enough here in Reno for my taste. There's not enough representation for the Black Lives Matter movement up here in Reno. So I am constantly making the drive to show support, make sure that it's documented, do what I gotta do to make sure that they have the people they need, the numbers they need.
So this is for you kind of another, I mean, I don't mean to be dismissive, but this is another reason or another organizing action or another drive to go out and be out and about in Carson.
Correct. I mean, obviously, we're up here at the Believe sign downtown Reno. Obviously, right now, we're not in Carson,
Right.
But we do have the majority of our Carson organizers. We have our Carson regular people, our regular people that show up that came here. So we have Carson here representing tonight because it's important. We put it out on my own personal social media, on the Carson Black Lives Matter social media pages to come on out. So any of our supporters that did see that, we're definitely encouraged to come. It was short notice, but however, we do actually have a decent number of Carson reps here actually right now.
So, along the same line, I want to ask this because you guys have been again, very active, very out front, and you've had your own set of circumstances you've had to deal with directly, firsthand, out in the streets of whether it be Carson, Reno, or Douglas. And today's event in Kentucky is an issue that may not have affected you guys directly, but is kind of part of the narrative you're working on. Were you expecting, that with that being said, having been in the line of fire, so to speak, of some pretty heavy events, were you expecting a different outcome from the Attorney General's office, having dealt with a range of incidences with law enforcement and law enforcement agencies?
So, if you're asking if I was surprised about the injustice on Breonna Taylor's behalf, the answer is absolutely not. We have dealt with really great law enforcement and really terrible law enforcement in a lot of the cases we've been out protesting. But that doesn't mean that I'm even mildly surprised.
Right.
Yeah, correct. I would very much the same. I'm not shocked either, not surprised. It's been pretty much the same narrative, case by case, no matter which way you look across the board. It's pretty much how the cases go, and it's not a shock to me whether it's the Attorney General in Kentucky, whether it's even here locally. We can bring it back home with the look at the Washoe County DA Chris Hicks with Micaiah Lee. I am not shocked with what happens with these officers any longer. I'm not shocked.
No, I think we've dealt with a lot of good police in a lot of the protests that we've done, because there's been police activity obviously to monitor. And despite that, it's the system itself, and the system is, federal. It's bigger than Reno or Carson.
So, with that being said, and I asked that as an establishing question because, naturally, when one is aware, cognitively aware of an issue, the next natural question is, what do you do about it? And I know you've obviously made a point of demonstrating and being out front and out in the open about your concerns and grievances. And with this new one, I guess, being that, the charges from a range, depending upon who you ask and what side of the fence you may ask, so to speak, may be adequate to horribly inadequate. And I apparently have talked to quite a few people here tonight, and the answer, or at least the consensus I'm reaching, is it's inadequate. Is that a similar thought?
Yes, at least for me, it's severely inadequate. There's anything less than arrest and prosecution of murder, in my opinion. Anything less than that is a slap of the face to the memory of Breonna Taylor. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, naturally, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, did I?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I was just going to say about what he said, so.
Okay. Along that same lines, right now, obviously, in Louisville, Kentucky, the city's readying for probably a long night and a long week. And naturally, subsequently across the country, this is going to probably follow through with protests, demonstrations, et cetera, et cetera. With that also being said, how is it best to air a grievance of such a nature of this at the moment? I mean, is there any proper way to protest something like this?
I don't even like answering that question. I am not really the one to speak. I don't know about that. I personally don't feel like there's any correct way to protest. Everyone has feelings, and everything affects everyone differently. So to say what's going to affect person A and how they should react to it is not the same as person B and how they react to it. So I don't think it's anybody's right to say how anybody reacts to anything.
Yeah.
In any regards.
And that depends community to community. Rena's going to have different feelings about it than in Louisville, because that's where it's happening, and all subsequently across the country where this stuff is happening right now. And no matter where you are, everything's going to be a different reaction based on the emotions that are felt by the injustice.
And I asked that because you guys are, again, part of an organization down south, and I felt like that was a good question to ask in terms of, organization and response, because, naturally, I'm wondering if someone's watching this tonight may feel the sense that, why can't you just go vote, or why can't you do X, or why can't you do Z?
That all of those are parts of those answers. All of those are parts. It is going out and voting. It's at this point, whether it's here in Nevada, Louisville, Kentucky, it's getting involved, getting a hold of your state reps, your state legislators, your nationwide legislators. It's talking to them about things you want changed, about ending qualified immunity, ending these types of things that make it to where these officers are getting off on crimes through things like qualified immunity. It's getting to your own individual lawmakers. So at this point, that is definitely one part. Is voting, legislative changes, and that's a long game. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, of course, voting is a big part of it, but voting isn't something that you can necessarily do every single day, every single week. That's how I view it. It's something that happens, but it's not something, I don't know, it doesn't get the attention, and it doesn't happen that often.
Right. Every couple of years here and there.
Yeah. And at the same time, there's also, just educating yourself through your research, anything you can do, whether it's just spreading the information that you do know and making sure the information out there is correct information, having those hard conversations. There's a lot more to it than just showing up.
Gotcha. Guys, I want to say thank you for enduring my questions. You're welcome. I'm going to let you guys carry on, as I imagine you've got some more, talking to do and mourning to do. So I'll let you carry on.
Thank you.
Well, and again, just for the record, for anyone wanted to ask your names, guys.
My name is Matthew Wilkie.
Celeste Wallace.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, have a good night. All right, so here we are again. It's kind of a state of affairs now in the park. So far so quiet. They're relatively quiet right now. I guess I'll ask this group of folks here. And I do want to ask the first folks in a sec, but let's go ahead and talk to these folks here. Guys, can I ask you a question? Hi, can I ask, just let you know, I'm live, so you're aware. What does that sign mean?
It means that we don't need police officers to protect our communities, and that we can invest in helping each other.
Thank you.
Stuck on the sign there.
Oh, no worries. Sorry about that.
It just means that we don't need cops, we don't need outsiders. A lot of the police officers that serve communities oftentimes don't even live in the communities where they're from, and it's about creating a network of like mutual solidarity and helping out each other.
Gotcha. I wanted to ask just because it was a very stark and unique sign, and I wanted to understand what that meant in that. And so, can I ask what brings you out tonight?
What brings me out? Just that the trial for the death of Breonna Taylor was an absolute injustice, and it was really heartbreaking to hear that they couldn't even bother to care about the fact that they murdered an innocent person, even after all the work that so many people have put out, and all the fighting that's gone on just to try and get justice for this one person. That the only thing that they could charge anyone on is the shooting a building. It's just it really shows that they don't. The police system cannot be reformed. And I just wanted to see who else. I don't know. I just wanted to show up. I didn't know what else to do.
No, it's fair. That's why I wanted to ask, because it's a Wednesday night. It's a Wednesday evening. You probably have things to do, and you know, I imagine, you know, what was the determinant factor for you to say, you know, I need to be here. I gotta. Don't worry. We'll carry on. Okay, well, I'm. Hang on, man. I'm gonna come right back. I hate to do this on violence, but I apologize, man. I don't mean to do that.
Parker! Nick!
Parker!
I will return right back, man.
Let's just drop it.
Oh, fuck off! You sound fucking retarded, bud.
Go!
Sorry.
Go!
Nobody.
Let's just drop it, dog. Come on.
Fuck you.
You guys, you guys, not worth it. Just let him go. Let him go. Just let him go.
What?
Okay. Okay. I apologize for that, ma'am. I did not mean to do that. That is a horrible waste of like people's attention and time, and I did not mean to totally cut you off from saying something very meaningful. So, no, it's okay. I just want to make sure everyone's safe, and nothing crazy is going on.
I know. People shouldn't be crowding him. It's just gonna make them.
No. Oh Lord.
Let him go!
Oh jeez.
Let him go! Don't make it work!
This is not gonna end well, man.
Hey, Aaron.
I'm not telling him.
This is not what. This is probably what everyone wanted have happen. So I'm gonna maintain my distance here. This is just kind of silly here. Oh Lord. No, don't do this. Don't do this.
This man's got a Nerf gun. I found out. What? It's a bubble blast bit.
Oh!
Bubble blast.
He's gonna hit someone.
What the fuck? Why is that house so long? Fucking jousting stick. Yo, do you have another one? We should joust.
Yes.
I don't know, man. The car's right there.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go and back off here a little bit, sir. What? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is probably. Alright, let's just kind of go back to work, I would say. This seems to be just a personal conflict, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to service here. Let's go back to talking to. Ma'am, I apologize again. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I have to give you points for your patience and your virtue for enduring me. So I apologize. I want to make sure what the heck ever that was going on.
Absolutely.
So I think I was going back. I was on the question of what was the determinant factor that made you decide to come here tonight?
Well, I heard that every city was doing something at 7, and I know that usually stuff ends up happening here or over at the federal building.
Okay.
So I checked out the federal building, and there was no one there, and there was people here, but I don't know. It's just I just wanted, if there's people out here fighting for like justice and fighting for like our black and brown brothers and sisters and siblings, like I just want to be there and be a part of it. I don't know. There hasn't really been a lot going on in Reno, so I just wanted to be there if there is something going on. I don't know. It's not really much of a question for me.
No worries. I mean, I always kind of want to know like what makes you decide like it's Wednesday night, like kind of social justice or Netflix.
Yeah. It's just it's I don't know. I think especially with Breonna Taylor, there's so many names. There's so many people who like have been murdered and like without like any cause by the police. And Breonna Taylor, I think, like is someone that like people have really rallied behind for a really long time. And the fact that even with all of the rallying, all of like I think she was like on Time magazine or something, like all of the talk and all the rallying and like all of the like dialogue around her, the fact that they still couldn't even like kind of charge any of the people that murdered her. It's horrible. It's sad. It's fucked up. And I don't think there's any reforming that system. So I just wanted to be out here and stand in solidarity with Louisville and with Breonna and her family and everybody else who's been brutalized by the police.
Thank you for giving me some insight.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and I appreciate you enduring me going back and forth.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
I definitely might return.
Do your reporter job.
Thank you, ma'am. And actually, I want to try to catch up with this young lady here. Hey, Brittany. Ma'am. Sorry, I don't know this young lady's ma'am. Hey, ma'am. Ma'am, can I ask you a question? Hi, my name's Don. I'm right here in Reno. I saw you were handing out candles.
Yeah.
Did you help organize this tonight?
I kind of just made like a shout out on my Facebook page.
Okay. So you're the right person to talk to.
Am I? Because I think Black Lives Matter made a shout out too, but I was just doing it out of thinking that it was the smart thing to do.
Well, can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes.
What's your name?
Amy.
Amy. So are you like typically engaged with public activism or anything at all? Like, I mean, like like are you normally involved with stuff in the public square or?
I've come out here a few times, but I'm just out here tonight showing some solidarity. I don't know if everybody heard the news about Breonna Taylor, but we obviously feel like she didn't get her justice served tonight, so we just came out here to show some love for her. Let her know we're gonna keep fighting. That's about it.
I feel like you're the right person to ask because, again, tonight, Miss Taylor being a young black woman who was shot, and the natural question is whether or not, I'm sorry.
No worries. Please, can you get that for me? If you want to catch up with them, you can. Here, yeah, talk to you my bar. My bar's right over there. I think they went to the garage. Okay. Let me call you right back, Mommy, okay?
I'm holding her up.
Right. No worries.
So I want to. You're like the right person to ask in a lot of ways. So as you organize this event, and I guess I'll ask from starting from a personal basis here. What does this moment mean to you as a young black woman in America?
Just coming out here to show support and love, I would say. It's really not much of anything. I wouldn't take credit alone, saying that I organized this myself. All I did was make a shout out to my group of friends. I don't know if my word of mouth got out or others' word of mouth got out, but this was like something we kind of all just organized together. I wouldn't say it was just on one person or the other person. This is a kind of like a team effort thing. So I think we're all a little upset. Our feathers are a little ruffled with the news that we kind of just got, but we didn't want to come out here. We didn't really want to start no trouble, but just coming out here for some love and support, man. That's about it. Yeah.
And hence, How many hours did it take you to organize this?
Not really that many hours. I just made a post on my page like right when I was getting off at work. So.
What time was that?
Like about maybe 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 6 p.m. our time.
Yeah.
And you formulated, hey, let's do this. Let's put this together. And you bought the candles. It looks like.
Yeah. Just wanted to bring them out, and I bought enough for, I guess, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah. Here I am.
And I asked that because I want to understand, the motivation, the organization, and why people do what they do, so people at home can understand what happened. And because I didn't expect anything to happen tonight here in Reno until I heard about it on Facebook myself. And so I guess in a way it kind of speaks to the spontaneity and the depth that this has affected people by.
So, what do you ask me?
I guess I'm just gonna say I'm just giving a statement about that.
Yeah.
But what do you hope happens after tonight here in Reno? Like, what do you what do you want the folks who came here tonight and those who are watching, or those who feel compelled that the events in Louisville were not to their taste?
I just think we kind of got to keep going at it. Honestly, like it says, no justice, no peace. We got to keep the city loud all night until y'all hear us, and that's kind of why we're out here. I kind of encourage those out in Louisville to stay out as long as they could tonight as well, seeing that they had a lockdown.
A 9 p.m.
that's
curfew.
kind of you can kind of think of it as a peaceful retaliation.
Right.
So you guys could have gave us what we want, and it could have been a different type of noise, but now it's going to be our kind of noise. So maybe come up with a better decision.
So, can I ask, for those who are at home who may not understand why people are out in the streets, why you're doing this tonight, like they're going to go like, so the Attorney General's rendered a decision, and that's the findings. That's it. Like, why? Like, what more do you want? Like, what do you say to that person, or what do you say to them?
I do actually have somewhere to be right now, so I'm gonna have to cut this short.
Sure, absolutely.
No disrespect.
No, I'm
so, you kind of got me at a bad time.
Right.
Kind of been here the whole time, so yeah, if you'll just excuse me with that. I very much appreciate that. Thank
No problem. Just so and just so my audience knows, before we close, your name, ma'am.
Are you gonna be putting this up?
Well, we're actually live streaming right now.
You're live streaming right now.
Yes,
So, did you let me know that you were live streaming?
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Maybe I missed that.
I apologize.
No
But
worries.
we are live streaming though.
No. So, my name is Amy.
Yes.
That's all, folks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am. All right, that's Amy. All right, here we are. Let's see. There we go. All right, so here we are in the plaza, live still, and that is where we're at now in the plaza. I guess I was waiting to see if the bike folks are going to show up. I think I'm going to close this up here in a little sec because I feel like kind of running out of people to talk to here. Let's see if I'm going to talk to the Perch folks. Let's go ahead and talk to the Perch folks here. Yeah, let's talk to the Perch folks. So.
Like some bottles I mixed up. Like you got me cool. Listen.
Hey guys.
Oh, yours has that bleaching chlorine in it. Just so you know, like this is considered a riot in Portland. Just so you know, this is considered a riot in Portland.
Destruction of property.
Destroying public property with your
The menace to society.
So I want to ask you guys a quick question because I always like to kind of talk to you guys real quick. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
We're good. How are you?
So, good. I just noticed you made it on the scene, so I figured I'd ask you a question or two. So, what brings you out tonight?
Well, we're with Perch, People Enacting Radical Change. One of the our group does is we do a lot of support and standing solidarity type events. We go to, especially important ones like this, Breonna Taylor. The court decision, of course, is very upsetting. And we brought candles.
Right.
And bubbles, of course.
Right. It wouldn't be a Perch event without the bubbles.
Right.
So, yeah, again. Sorry guys, I gotta run.
No worries.
I apologize.
Okay, what did you talk about, dude? Actually, I should probably go over there with you.
Oh, deal. Oh, I think we're back to square one again. Sorry, life in downtown can be a bit hairy. And it's the same gentleman who's returned. I'm gonna openly say I don't think this is a good idea at this point.
You're police over here with your friend, and we will keep our police over there with our friend. We are gonna walk away. Stay over here. Let's go. You guys, let's go. You guys, go. Leave him alone. Go.
I'm not coming. I didn't say shit, bro. I didn't say shit about nobody.
He ain't worth it.
Right.
Parker, when the fuck somebody say something bad, let him walk out of the zone. He ain't worth it. Who the fuck said that? I will fucking cut somebody. Why the fuck you up on my ass? Why the fuck you up on my ass?
This is, I don't think this is part of the plan, right?
I can take this.
I understand you,
Unfortunately, something like that. This is like,
Everybody, come on.
All right.
There's tons of little kids here. Clear it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is getting a little hairy here. So I'm gonna intelligently make my distance because I just kind of want this to cool down. And here's the duck. So we have an individual who seems to be intoxicated and apparently seems to be acting rather aggressively.
I don't know him. I just tried to get him to calm down.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this here. I'm gonna put this guy down. It's right here.
No, yeah, he's the one who they're not ours.
Okay, sorry guys. We're looking at the grounds because I have a camera pointing at the ground. So. Okay. Alright, guys, I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Like, anytime I have any, like, meaningful conversation, something
Something happens.
yeah. It's kind of the hazard of live performance in downtown Reno. So, I think we were talking about why you guys are here.
Yeah, so Breonna Taylor is actually the focus of tonight. The court ruling that occurred, of course, has people activating across the country, as we usually do. Here in Reno, we have our usual mellow, happy vibe that we always have, with the exception of a few little, annoying
hiccups.
Yeah, right.
You could say that proverbially and literally.
Right.
And again, I apologize to those watching at home who are having to endure me having to jump back and forth to that garbage that's going on. It's the same guy. And so I feel bad because it's like nothing to do with this. And at the same time, I always am a firm believer if something of concern is to happen, I'd rather document it than not.
Yeah, definitely. And if it's happening at a protest, you're here to document the protest. So,
Right.
Yeah. It's not the highlight of what we're doing, especially when it's just somebody causing a slight disturbance like that.
Right.
It's not really a huge deal, but we don't want them around our people.
Right. Because it has a tendency of causing disruption.
Yeah, huh?
It has a tendency of causing a bit of disruption.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And again, that's not necessarily. I don't like getting the values of news and what's not. That's not my job to do that. That's the marketplace. I'll leave that alone.
Right.
But nevertheless, going back to we're here, you're here. You guys have always made a presence in this community in that neck of the woods. So I feel like you're the right people to ask on certain questions of action because a lot of people I've been out here talking to tonight, feel have a range of emotions, namely on the disgust side to the satisfaction side. But you guys can do stuff in the action sense of galvanizing community support and the like. And and they kind of briefly explain this a little bit, but after tonight, what will you see yourselves doing in response to this event?
I don't even want to cover this one.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, we had a meeting tonight, but we didn't really talk about what we're going to be doing in the future. Projects that we already have lined up, including the outreach project that we're planning on. That's probably like a week or two away from actually going into effect.
Right. But as far as the Breonna Taylor situation in the court thing goes, of course we have our sidewalk protests every week. We post those on Instagram and Facebook, and all we can really do is just keep having those because she's part of this, like why we fight. She's why we're here, and the court decision it's just another one of those evils in the world that we have to take care of. So, I don't know as far as like specifics. It happened just recently. We haven't had quite a chance to conceptualialize that,
Right.
but there will definitely be active protests. Always peaceful. Always peaceful.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. So, we're talking about peaceful action and trying to figure out what to do after such a ruling has been rendered. Many people are going to ask this at home as they're going to see the scenes in Louisville and across the country and go, there's other ways you can demonstrate disgust. There's other ways you can do X, Y, Z. And I'm trying not to tell people what to do here, but I do want to ask. In this moment, for folks that are involved in your organization or that you interact with, what's the best way to address this, or address this moment, or respond?
That's a hard question.
That's what-
It really is. I feel like a lot of people are still having problems processing it. There's so many emotions that's going to go into this whole process. I know we're probably going to maybe see a little bit more active protests. I would think we're going to get a little bit more of that.
More direct action.
Because we're all so very different.
That's what I was going to say. Regionally speaking, like here in Northern Nevada, with the exception of the little thing that happened a couple months back at the beginning of all this, Northern Nevada usually has this very peaceful, happy family vibe that's going.
Right.
But we're different than say Oakland or Chicago or any other city, even Las Vegas. So what's the best direction? I mean, diversity tactics is the only thing I can really say about that. People expressing themselves how they choose to, for better or worse, however you look at that. That's the best avenue. Just taking action.
We're going to still be having our protests to show that we're here, but we're also going to be doing our community work to give that support to our community, because this is something that's going to affect everyone.
Sure.
And that's another thing that we can do is draw exactly what she was talking about is community building, bringing ourselves all together. So hopefully somehow we can all together right these wrongs. It's not a really for sure answer. You can't say that there's just one best thing to do. I don't know.
This is like an essay question.
You have to say it in like 3 sentences.
No. Okay, so you have to have your intro, then there's 3 paragraphs, and each paragraph is different, view or idea, and then you have to have
and it will be scored according to the AP model. Just to let you know, I got an AP on my AP history test. So, not that I'm trying to rub that in everybody's face here, but and nor do I intend to think like I'm going to ask an essay question. I'm like, but it came in handy, so thank you. But nevertheless, guys, I appreciate always talking to you guys because you're always very thoughtful, and very well thought out about your answers. So I appreciate that, and I also love the bubbles. So it adds a nice little, interesting vibe to things.
Awesome, cool.
So I'll let you guys carry on. Absolutely. Yes, be safe and be well, guys. Thanks, guys. Oh, and before I always forget to do this. Your names, guys. Before I forget. Your name again.
Raven.
Oh, Nightingale.
Nightingale. Raven, Nightingale, thank you again.
Yep, definitely.
Take care, guys. And so here we are in the plaza. And here we go. So, hey, Celeste. You're watching, I guess.
Oh, I opened it for a second.
Thank you. Sorry, I just confirming it.
I mean, I am watching.
Literally, in real time. Thank you. So here we are. So here's what I'm gonna do. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. I guess here. This is effectively kind of. This is it here. I've been here for a while. I guess I was hoping the bike folks were gonna come back, but apparently they're not. So here we go. This is going to end this live stream here of this event here in downtown Reno. This is Dawn saying good night with an ad hoc Breonna Taylor event. Thanks for enduring me tonight and all the madness that occurred. I would have been writing stuff tonight, so I apologize to my editorial team for not doing that. But this is Dawn here in downtown Reno saying good night and take care.